Another real estate agent's embarrassing blunder. The property manager's accused of putting their own interests ahead of landlords and tenants after an internal staff email was sent to the wrong person.
They just kept talking over the top of me, like it was kind of almost like a bullying sort of tactic.
They don't want rent-free periods, they prefer to keep rents up.
Transparency is of key importance in these circumstances.
It's a new world for children out there and their parents trying to survive financially, like father of two John, who has welcomed a new baby into the world just as his income plummets.
Since January, though, I've definitely lost between 30 to 40% in revenue. This month it'll probably be a bit more again.
John works as an acupuncturist and is facing a downturn with our community in isolation. He rents this 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house in Brisbane South for $485 per week and hoped for some rental relief after hearing this message from the Prime Minister.
The point here is simple. It's the same request we made of landlords and tenants about 10 days or so ago when I stood up on this issue. And that is that they sit down and they work it out. This must be shared.
I emailed our property manager again and just sort of said, after the announcement, is there any way you can please contact the owners and just sort of suggest what I had asked before about the reduction or the pause if they're able to get it as well, just to give us some breathing space.
He says it was met with a brick wall, but after persisting further was sent this internal document by mistake. It outlines the steps property managers should take before sending any requests to the property owner.
When the rent drops, our commission drops as well. We should avoid free rent periods altogether for our benefit and for the tenants, as it has been suggested that some tenants will spend the upfront money and not save it for more long-term effects. Without being selfish, free rent periods and rent reductions means less revenue and less staff. Every application must be approved by the area leader before communicating with the owners.
What did you think when you read that email?
It was worrying. It kind of made it seem like there was not a way that we would be able to get any contact with the homeowners at all, like it was going to be blocked before it even got to them.
I think John's case just really starkly shows that sometimes the interests of owners and the interests of agents aren't the same.
Penny Carr is from Tenants Queensland, who have been lobbying hard for a fairer deal for renters in the fast-moving landscape around short-term rent relief.
We just don't want to see tenants saddled with very big debts at the end of this process that they can never really get out of, and they're left living in poverty for the years to come.
John's property manager also sent a financial hardship application form, which included questions about whether he'd been terminated or had his income reduced, but also whether he's applied for early access to superannuation.
I would hope there's no agents asking that question anymore. I'm aware that ASIC wrote to all of the real estate institutes across Australia and told people that it could constitute an offence because you need to be a financial advisor to be able to give advice on things like access to super.
The email was sent by the agent from Coronis Real Estate in the Brisbane suburb of Coorparoo on March 31, 3 days before ASIC's directive. In a statement, the agency said it's since instructed staff they are not under any circumstance to provide financial advice to clients. They also say they have negotiated hundreds of rent reductions to date, with both parties happy with the outcome. However, in this instance, they will need to use the assistance available through the RTA to mediate, given the personal circumstances each are in. Managing Director Andrew Coronis said in a Facebook live stream he wanted fair outcomes for both sides.
Because we've got to all work together in this, guys. This is not about one-sided. And we're not here to say that there is one side for the landlord and one side for the tenant. We're here to work out a solution for us all going forward. And I think that's the fairest thing possible.
Yes, whilst many tenants have been impacted by COVID-19, there are also many landlords, many owners who have also been impacted by COVID-19.
Antonia Mercarella is CEO of the Real Estate Institute of Queensland. She says there are strict laws in place to support tenants who have lost their job, but the required proof is more complicated for small business owners losing a large chunk of their revenue.
There's no hard and fast rules. There are no prescriptive documents to provide. It's really just about the parties sitting down to determine what sort of information is relevant.
John's rent reduction request was refused by the owner, but he feels the whole process could have been handled better.
What's your message for what agents should be doing at this time?
You try to sort of work together and get to a middle ground and try to support one another so that we can all get through it.
John is still waiting to hear if his JobKeeper application is successful. You can read the full statement from the real estate agent on our website.